Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
An urgent search lasting several hours ends with a man in custody for stabbing two people in two different cities. Tonight, the investigation is just beginning. Thanks for joining us here for the news at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. A chaotic and frightening day in parts of Macomb County. The first stabbing killed a woman outside the Bell Tire in Roseville. Short time later in St. Clair Shores, a man waiting for a bus was stabbed several times. Police say one person committed both of those acts of violence. Sean Lay live with more on the arrest and the big questions that investigators are now trying to answer, Sean.
So many questions, not a lot of answers right now. And that first attack happened at 6 in the morning because we're told the first victim was going to stop and put air in her tire. If you think about that, we've all done it. Your back is to everything. You're totally exposed and defenseless. That's when she was attacked. Police say the same guy with the same hunting knife went to St. Clair Shores and attacked a man at a bus stop. What at first looked like a random incident here, two different random attacks, may not be at all. 6 this morning at this Bell Tire on Gratiot near 14 Mile in Roseville. A woman minding her own business, her back turned as she filled her tire with air. Out of nowhere, she is viciously attacked by a man with a hunting knife. The woman suffering horrible stab wounds, and she did not survive the attack. Police in Roseville then say that same man came to St. Clair Shores 30 minutes later. A 40-year-old man minding his own business at a bus stop on Harper near 12 Mile is attacked. Those close to him tell me he was stabbed multiple times, rushed to the hospital. His friends tell us he is expected to survive. A manhunt was on to find the stabbing suspect before he chose yet another victim. Warren police surveillance teams were out, spotting the man's vehicle. Cell phone video shows Warren police making the key arrest near Van Dyke and 9 Mile. Back in Roseville, Don Boyd, like so many, is horrified at what happened. He was out on his bike, his wife relaying information to him to watch out.
My wife said she was listening to a police scanner.
And what did she tell you?
She said she thought the person that did this was possibly the same person that stabbed somebody at a bus stop at 12 Mile in Harper.
Over in Warren, Albert Springer watched as Warren police ended this stabbing spree.
The person next door at the bar came and told me that the guy was out from Bell Tire from earlier this morning. He was taking out people, and I was like, wow. And it's right outside our shop.
Back here live, bottom line, Warren police arrest the stabbing suspect. He's been turned over to Roseville police. They're investigating the whole thing. Does he, the stabbing suspect, have a connection, a relationship with the two victims? That's unclear tonight. Do the two victims have anything to do with each other? Again, what looked random, Devin and Kimberly, may not be. All of it under investigation. Back to you.
Extraordinary stuff. All right, Sean.
4 former security guards will face trial for a 2014 death at Northland Mall. Lucius Hamilton, John Sieberling, Gavin King, and Aaron Murray were bound over to each face 1 count of involuntary manslaughter. Mackenzie Cochran died after being pinned to the floor during a struggle with the security guards at the now closed mall in Southfield. Witnesses say he was yelling that he couldn't breathe. The former Oakland County prosecutor did not pursue charges back in 2014, but Attorney General Dana Nessel gave the case another look in 2020. If convicted, the security guards each face 15 years in prison.
A Rochester Hills man could be facing a lot of prison time for threatening a Macomb County judge. Jamar Warren is seen here charged with a false report or threat of terrorism. He became disruptive in a Mount Clemens courtroom last November while being charged with assault with a deadly weapon. When his hearing was continued over Zoom, he allegedly threatened to shoot the judge. If convicted now, he could end up spending 20 years in prison. We'll keep following it.
If there actually were a Big Brother of the Year award, this teen from Alpena would have to be a leading candidate. He used a slingshot to help his sister escape someone who tried to snatch her from her backyard. Well, now Owen Burns and his proud parents are talking about it for the first time. Will Jones interview. Owen sounds like he's staying pretty humble about all of this.
Owen is certainly being really composed about what happened, and maybe that ability to stay composed, stay calm is why he was able to do what he did to save his sister from who knows what. 13-year-old Owen Burns using a slingshot to rescue his sister.
While I was playing games, I heard my sister scream. I thought I would just mess around. Same time she screamed again, like 10 seconds later, and I'm like, what's going on?
He says he saw a 17-year-old boy restraining his 8-year-old sister in the backyard of their home in Alpena last Wednesday. He fired twice at the teen with his slingshot, hitting his target once in the chest and once in the head.
I never had good practice with a slingshot before when I was a kid. I did shot it. I was like 7 when I was a kid. I did, but I was not that great with it.
Their mom, Margaret Burns, was headed home from work when she got the call from her kids.
They were in a state of panic and screaming, and she was crying, and the only word I could make out of the whole conversation was kidnap.
But thanks to Owen taking quick action with his slingshot, the little girl was not hurt.
I'm just happy we were able to celebrate her 8th birthday that Saturday after. I mean, we could have been celebrating a funeral or something else.
Good job, Owen. The suspect is in custody. He's facing attempted kidnapping and assault and battery charges. We are live tonight. Will Jones, Local 4.
Great ending to this story. Okay, Will, thank you. I'll take it. One organization is making sure cost doesn't keep people from accessing a life-saving resource. Over-the-counter Narcan costs about $100 a dose. So more ways to get it for free, no questions asked, are popping up all over Oakland County. Megan Woods joins us live with those efforts. Megan.
Kimberly, between this week and next week, 30 of what are referred to as Save a Life stations will be put at different locations across Oakland County. Now, these are different and less expensive than those Narcan vending machines. Take a look. This Save a Life station may be small, but inside there's more than meets the eye.
There's nasal Narcan available here, as well as xylazine testing strips for Trenkfent, fentanyl testing strips,
and safe prescription pill disposal kits. The Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities are strategically placing these boxes at shelters, gas stations, hotels, and libraries in Oakland County.
We use the data from the medical examiner in relationship to actual fatalities throughout Oakland County to determine locations of need. Then we started hitting the streets and talking to the community. What is it that you need? Where do you need it? And how easy will it be for you to access those?
Today, the first box was delivered in Pontiac outside of Hope Shelters.
It's the only low barrier shelter in Oakland County, which means that we work with people even if they don't have an ID, a clean background, even if they're not sober.
The CEO and executive director knows there's a great need for tools like this.
We probably use Narcan inside the shelter about once a month.
The goal is more lives are not just saved, but changed.
So it's a combination of a lot of things that needs to take place. And this is a tool that will help you get to the next solution.
And when the items in those boxes get low, the coalition will just restock them. It's all funded by the Oakland Community Health Network. And if you want to take a look at an interactive map with those locations, as well as locations of those Narcan vending machines, we'll put that on clickondetroit.com. Reporting live, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Very good. Okay, Megan, thank you.